good.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rosie.
So I'm sitting here with Spencer, the famous YouTuber who's steady walking around Nain.
Yeah, that's right.
And who also, a lot of streeters say, oh, hey, you should get this YouTuber. Oh, hey, you hear about Roscoe on Facebook. Hey, your name is Spencer. So, Spencer, what's your purpose of being the famous YouTuber?
Thank you so much, Rosie. I'm glad you asked. I'm happy to be here. I always start out my videos, I always say, I'm Spencer Remple working for Northern stores all across Canada's Great North, and today I'm coming at you from Nain, Newfoundland and Labrador.
How about switching that? Nain, Nunatsabu.
There we go. I would be happy to do that. You
Really?
betcha. Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's try saying
Okay.
Nunatsabu.
Nunatsiavu.
Oh, you're...
I'm pretty close.
You even need...
Okay.
You
Oh,
even need
right.
some lessons.
All right. Thank you.
How good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to practice. I don't speak enough, of course, but I wish I did. And
Yeah.
I love the language. I listen to it. You might have noticed in one of my videos, I go to the church, your Moravian church, every Sunday, because it's all in your language,
Yeah.
and I get to follow along in the songs, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to learn to sing the songs, and then I can sort of figure out what the words mean. And
You know what?
it's beautiful.
That's actually the quickest way to learn to speak our language.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing.
Wonderful.
Good old tip for the day. So,
Wonderful. I'd love to tell you a little bit about myself and kind of what gave me a purpose. As you asked, what's my purpose in doing this YouTube videos?
okay.
And so the purpose is kind of twofold, for the education of myself and also for the education of others. So really, to explain that further, I grew up in a small little town. It was a little forestry community, a little logging community in southern British Columbia in the interior. And there was maybe 200 people there. We had one restaurant, one store, one elementary school only, went to grade 7, and one little church. And that was it. That was downtown. And so I'm really familiar with that lifestyle that Northerners enjoy as well. Hunting, fishing. I mean, I was an outdoorsman. If you didn't do things outdoors, you didn't have anything to do. So I love all of those. I love all of those things. But Rosie, to tell you the truth, growing up in this little place, I lived there for 40 years. Not just my childhood, right up until I was 40 years old. It was, I hadn't seen much of Canada. I didn't know much of Canada at all. There's no other cultures around in that area. There wasn't any, any reservations around close by. Nothing that that affected culture. That I got to see other different cultures in that. Okay. And I always had a real interest in that. I'm a people person, and I love to see how people live, how they think, how they learn, how they love families. I love it all. And I was just kind of isolated in this little community, living my life there, raising my kids and loving life, but wanting to see more, wanting to know more. The internet came along and I studied everything I could. I was an armchair traveler and I went to every video that I could about the North. And because I had this interest, I had actually met someone from way up north and in the Northwest Territories, right up on the ocean there. And it just fascinated me and got this interest, this really sparked this interest in me. So I would go onto YouTube and I would search out videos of the North. And really, I started, most of the videos I seen, certainly not all, but most were negative. It seems like the news, lots of times it's not news unless it's something bad. They only want to tell the bad news lots of times. And we'd have different organizations would come up and do do news on the bad things, on alcoholism or brokenness or poor this or that or things like that. And that's important too. I'm not saying it's not, but I just felt that it was unbalanced. And I thought, I know what it's like living in those little communities. Not exactly like that, of course, but I know what it's like, and I know there's good wherever you go. And I know there's family and there's love and there's good things wherever you go. And I don't think this is getting fair representation. I don't think the North is getting fair representation on YouTube for the goodness that there is. So, being just a poor working guy and not having enough money to travel around the North, and I had to find a job. I had to find somebody that I could work for them, and it would take me around the North so I could see these places. And so, of course, the Northwest Company and Northern Stores was an excellent choice for us because they have 130 some different stores in all remote and Arctic locations, right? So I thought, that's what we'll do. My wife and I, we signed up with them. And that was 3 years ago now. 3 years ago, and about 150 videos since on my YouTube channel, showing the experience, showing all the positive and good things, loving families and celebrations and good communities, and just bringing that to the awareness of the Southerners that don't even know this world exists. Whew, so there's a long answer for you, Rosie.
It's a really good answer, and like for real, I gotta just say thank you right now.
Oh,
thank you.
You're welcome. It is my pleasure.
Even as a kid, like when internet and stuff first came out, like the dial-up.
Yes.
We couldn't find any videos from our homelands and stuff too. So and then when it did, as you mentioned, like it was almost like, the bad things of anything can happen in any community, in any town, in any city kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And just to highlight all the good as to why we're so connected and why we want to live here and family. When I think of family, I don't just think of the family I'm raising, the family I have, but I think of the family before me, where I came from, the family before them, where they came from, and so on. I can just go on for generations. That's what family is for us.
Yeah,
so
that is a cultural thing that I found, and the community as well. People that just feeling that towards the entire community.
Where we're so small, and I guess it's like cultural too, where we're so small, I feel like when somebody has a loss in their family, we all lose that person. When somebody is getting married, we're all, the excitement, the overjoy of pride and just want to celebrate their love, because we know they could carry this family that's going to carry our culture, our traditions, and so on and so forth. There's just so much more meaning to family to me personally, and that's why I just had to say thank you.
Wonderful.
So what are your future what's your future looking like for your YouTube page?
Well, I just love doing the YouTube page. It's just something I do on my own. It's kind of my passion, and my wife, she works hard for Northern. She's over there at the Quick Stop right now, working away, and so my job there has been able to actually go down, which gives me a little more chance to take opportunities like you're giving me here today. Take opportunities like I had yesterday, where a new friend of mine brought me out on his boat. And I got to go out quite a bit south, like 2 hours south.
Wow.
Oh, I forget the bay it was now. We went past that Boise Bay and then to another one. It was wonderful. That's just my kind of thing. The small town that I grew up in, we were boating and snowmobiling and Hondas and stuff all the time. So all of this is familiar to me. I'm an outdoorsman that way, so kind of suited for this lifestyle in this place. Grew up hunting as well. My dad and my uncle, they taught me how to hunt. I taught my boys how to hunt. I get that. It's not an issue for me. You see some of my videos here. There's some where, there's one I was showing you before. It was with the narwhal hunting. And, what a great experience that was for me. Now, others may struggle with that. I understand traditions. I understand supplying food and putting food on the table for families and such. So that's not an issue to me. I can see the goodness in that, in what's happening in those just like around here where the fishing that goes on and that. It's just beautiful. The community freezer that you have, where the community shares then that bounty. So somebody else who can't get out, they can't afford a boat, they maybe got bad knees, they're older, whatever, they can still go and get fish from people generously giving to them. Those are the things, you know, I want to tell people in the South, that things that people don't know exist. When I tell them things like this, they're just blown away. Blown away.
We take care of each other up here. I mean, when you're, you know, left with kind of no choice.
Yeah.
it was a more like, yeah, like not, I wouldn't even know to say culturally or traditionally or a mix of both kind of thing, but that's the way I was brought up too. You, whatever you have, even if it's a little bit, you give, because they might not, you know, they might not have any at all, and then there could be a time in the future that you find yourself down and out and looking for help, and you can go to someone else and they'll give, because that's how we were all brought up here, I think, because there's not a lot of people that I know who would say, oh no, I can't help you,
right,
you know,
right,
and there's not a lot of people who would be like, if you wave to somebody on the road or say hi,
yes,
hardly ever you won't get a wave back, or you won't get a hi, or have a nice day, or it's a beautiful day. You know, it's always something where even just that smallest stuff could make your day. It could,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel like up here we take care of each other in more than ways that I could say or even count. So I guess all of it interested you, I guess.
And yes, and for the future, I'm really not exactly sure what the future holds. I really enjoy the traveling around and being able to experience these cultures and communities and such. I've fallen in love with Nain, though, I have to tell you. Both my wife and I have. We've really fallen in love with Nain. Right from when we landed, and they came and picked us up. So we were here originally in the wintertime. So we landed, and they came and picked us up on a snowmobile. And I'm like, what's going on? Don't you guys have a truck? And they're like, oh yeah, but in wintertime we don't drive trucks, we just drive snowmobiles. I'm like, that is so cool. And then I go downtown, and you've got your the town's office buildings there, and they close for lunch. And then the school closes for lunch. And all the people go and pick up their kids and go home for lunch, bring their kids back to school, and then go back to work. I'm like, I love this place. That's my kind of place. It's not only got that natural beauty, but the beauty of the people and families like that together. So it just melted my heart, and I've fallen in love with Nain. So I keep saying it in my videos. I don't know if you guys are even going to get rid of me. I might have to put down roots here, because this is one of my most favorite places I've ever been.
That's so good to hear. Music to my ears. Nah, I might be being a little bit biased on that, but Nain is it is a really beautiful place. It's just like you mentioned, the community, the people in the community, the views, you know, the wildlife is beautiful. Can be scary if you see black bears. We get black bears up my way, so
oh yes,
we're in the newer end, so I'm curious to see your videos this summer, especially.
Good.
Yeah, I saw some of your, you know, winter ones and stuff, but I'm very curious to see what are your hopes, I guess, for, like, do you hope your YouTube page expand?
Definitely. Yeah. I would hope that my YouTube page expands. It starts getting, you know, more views in the way that it. I mean, you know, selfishly, it'd be nice to have good views and a bigger YouTube channel. But really, honestly, for the purpose of educating people in the South, being that I came from the South, and I think that a lot of people in the North in these isolated communities don't even quite realize how people in the South don't even know that these places exist, and they have ideas about culture and communities that are wrong, and are misplaced, and I just feel passionate about helping change that. So if my YouTube channel can grow to help spread that word, then I hope that's what happens. And along the way, we'll just see what other opportunities come along, and I'm always ready for new opportunities, right? So in any ways that I can help, and kind of loving life, to get out and to be in these places and be doing what I'm doing. I'm just a happy character. You see me around, I almost always got a smile because I just love what I do and I love where I am and how my life is going right now. And so I hope that comes through in the videos and to the people that I'm fortunate enough to be able to interview and to get to know.
I feel like just hearing you say about the Southerners and how they're not really educated on cultural things from North. And just to have you given that information, sharing our cultural ways, and getting rid of those miscommunications, I should say.
Yes, that's
You're
a good word.
Like kind
exactly.
of clearing the air.
Yes.
Yeah, so we all
Right
should
on.
be very thankful.
Thank
And
you.
also, like for the younger people, I guess the youth, I should say, I hope this interests some of them to keep or to try and have a YouTube page of our daily lives here in the North, and especially if they're like off hunting and fishing, wooding, and other cultural things like traditional ways that they're doing off on the land. I hope they has like a camera or something, a video, anything to upload a video,
Well, I've been greeted by all the kids and the children here in the community like crazy. They're just so brave and so happy to meet me, and once they know that I'm a YouTuber, and that's been really neat. And so I've been kind of trying to encourage them, and depending on how long I'm here, I'd love to do more of that. I love kids, and if maybe through the school or through something, if I could I'd be willing to do some kind of course for the kids to give them that little bit of basic knowledge on how to start their YouTube channel, how to get a couple good videos going, type of thing, a little bit of video classes or something like that. If I could help out so that more people could be spreading the good news, I would love that as well.
Yeah. And I'd really like for your page to keep going, and I know how to like get into YouTube and stuff, but if you could explain a little bit on how to go to your site.
Thank you, I would. So if you go on YouTube, they always have a search bar at the top, and if you're just to put in my name, Spencer Remple, that's my name, Spencer Remple, R-E-M-P-L-E, and you put that in the search bar, some of my videos will come up, and you'll notice at the bottom of the video there's a little thumbnail, a little picture of me. And if you tap on that picture, it'll bring you to my channel, to my page. And then if you click on videos, you'll see a chronological order of all my videos, right from the newest one, and then all the way back 3 years, 150 videos worth, to when I very first started this journey.
I'd like to thank you for sitting here and talking with me, taking time out of your day.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah, we do appreciate it.
That's just fabulous. I'm happy to be here. I really am. And thanks for the opportunity to tell people about my channel. And I would ask, of course, that everyone please subscribe and even more importantly, share. Let's get the word out there and tell those you share with to share it as well.
Yeah.
Because we need to get that bounced all the way through. Everyone in these communities, that's great, but we need to bounce that information down south, and we need to get those people watching it too. So everybody, see a good video, give me a thumbs up and a share, and let's spread the good word.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie.
Have a good day.
You as well.
I didn't even know you guys worked with Northern stores. I thought you were just like joking off about it. But I think I met your wife because I always go to the Quick Stop.
Oh yeah, then you would have probably.
To get cigarettes. They always hold my cigarettes, so I went there and there was this Missy, and does she have blonde hair?
And well, she's 5'2" and eyes of blue. She's a short little thing.
I was gonna say there was this Missy shorter than me.
Yeah.
She was shorter than me.
My wife always gets excited when she meets people shorter than her as well.
I was excited because I know everyone who I meet, I'm like,